Hey guys, it's March 27th, 2014, and this is Drudder. Welcome to the third annual Drudder's Heirloom Organic Tomato Seed Giveaway. Yeah, I've been doing it about 3 years now. The first year was kind of informal. The second year I actually did a video like this one and gave away some seeds, and this year obviously I'm doing another video again to get it done. It's been about 2 months since I decided to end the channel. And no, I'm not back. I haven't really left YouTube. I've been on YouTube. I'm not back into making videos. As I said in my previous couple of videos that wrapped up the channel, that I would have a few projects to finish up and that this would be one of them. So it is time to get that done. As you can see, we've had some nasty weather in the Vancouver area over the past couple of weeks. I was gardening in a t-shirt a week ago. But indeed, the sun is starting to come out here. The temperatures are coming up. The snow has melted and the green shoots are poking up. I actually saw some bees and some blossoms on some trees the other day, so I believe that spring is coming. I know a lot of North America is still under snow or having very, very cold temperatures. But, you know, tomatoes do take a while. You got to plant them indoors and you got to get them started now. So it is the correct time to get these seeds into some little pots and into some soil and get them germinating, and then they can go outside in mid-May or so, depending on where you are. Just a quick note on heirloom seeds. If you don't know what heirloom seeds are, they are essentially worth their weight in gold, perhaps literally even. Heirloom seeds, in my opinion, are very, very valuable seeds, far more valuable than your average everyday seed that comes out of a seed company or, you know, like a laboratory, basically. Heirloom just basically means nature's way of reproducing. It is the natural way. It is how seeds have been made, you know, by the fruit and turned back into seed and then back into plant and then back into fruit again, and over and over and over again. An unbroken chain stretching back, you know, to that first single-celled organism way, way back. And that genetic line has survived and changed and branched to the point where we now have these individual seeds here, and none of them are the same. They're all slightly different. These ones all happen to be from the Sweet 100 variety of tomato. You could classify them as that, but of course none of them are identically the same. They're all from different plants. They're all from different tomatoes. They all have different, quote, mothers and different fathers. So, but the beauty of heirloom seeds is that they are natural and that they are sustainable. We can continue turning these into plants and then back into vegetables and then back into seeds again forever, essentially. It is the definition of sustainable. It is how tomatoes have been doing it for hundreds of thousands or millions of years, and will probably just continue to do so. But this is a way for people without fancy equipment or a lot of money. In fact, you don't need any money or equipment to grow their own food. Just you need a patch of dirt and you need some sunlight coming down from outer space, and that's it. You can grow these tomatoes, and it is a very rewarding experience to do so. My tomato plants that these seeds came from were never touched by pesticides of any kind. No fungicides, no insecticides, no fertilizers even, nothing. Just the soil in my yard and compost that came from my kitchen scraps. So this is truly organic heirloom seeds. And a little note on the origin of these seeds. I originally got some seeds from a subscriber in the first year that I was doing YouTube, and I added those in with some other seeds, heirloom seeds that I had at the time that I had purchased from a seed company. And over the couple of years after that, a couple other subscribers and viewers and friends of mine sent in some seeds as well, and I incorporated those into my seed stock. So my seeds are a true blend of multiple different sources, and that's the great thing about it. It's like combining a family tree. If you think about humans, it's sort of like bringing in some, like, oh, well, hey, he's attractive, or, she's smart, let's bring her or him into the family, and, you just sort of mix in those genes. And so I've selected for the best plants, the most hardiest, the biggest fruit, the most fruit, the nicest looking tomatoes, and so forth, over the years. And I'm no expert breeder or anything, and I've probably had genetic material coming in from neighboring tomato gardens, like neighboring farms, or even neighbors that are growing them, coming in on bees and mixing in with my stuff. That's fine. So for the past 5 years or so, I've had all kinds of a mix of different heirloom seeds, tomato seeds, and have just sort of selected the best ones that I like. And this is what I have now. I have these Sweet 100s, and I'm also going to be giving away packets of miscellaneous seeds. They can be from my Orange Organics, or from my Amish Paste, or my Black Prince, different beefsteak tomatoes that I've had over the years. I'm just going to put those all into sort of a miscellaneous bags, and then these ones here that you see in front of you are the Sweet 100s, and I think you know what Sweet 100s are. Very large amount of tomatoes grow on each cluster on the plant, and you get about 5 or more clusters per plant, and they're about golf ball size, and they're quite sweet and delicious. And one last note about the genetic origin of these particular seeds of mine. I was quite sad when my grandpa passed away, well, obviously for many reasons, about 6 years ago. And he was an avid gardener, and my grandma's still living in that house, and I still garden in that garden and grow food in the soil that he tended for decades. And he was a very avid tomato gardener, loved to grow tomatoes and bring them in, and Grandma loved to eat them. So I have fond memories of that. But, one thing I really regret is not having any of his seed stock. But once he was gone, he died in the fall, and his garden, as I recall, he had a tomato garden full of tomatoes, and they just went uneaten, unharvested, and they just rotted into the soil. It was the following year that I began growing these seeds, this strain of seeds, and this genetic sort of line in his garden. And it has recently occurred to me that volunteer plants, another way of saying plants that you didn't intend to grow there, volunteer tomato plants came up in the garden that year, that first year that I was doing it. And I allowed them to grow, and I allowed them to fruit, and I allowed them to cross-pollinate with other tomatoes in my garden. And so I didn't realize at the time, but I did incorporate some of my grandpa's expert, award-winning tomato stock into my stock that way. And I only recently realized that about a month ago when I was thinking about it. I was thinking, those plants did come up, and they did mix with mine. So I do have some of Grandpa's genetic stock, seed stock, from his line of organic heirloom seeds in mine. So even if there's only a small amount, that's how genetics work. It incorporates it into the genes, and it's in there. So I don't know how much of it's in there, but it's kind of nice that it's in there, and so I wanted to pass along that story to you. But now let's get on with the next part of the video. Because I'm giving these away, and I'm paying for the shipping and everything associated with that, I get to choose who I give them to, obviously. So you have to be from Canada or the USA. 90% of the people who will get seeds from me are usually from Canada or the USA anyway, but I'm going to limit it to that this year to keep things simple. And you have to have been watching my gardening videos for at least 1 year. I've been doing them for 5 years. I would like you to have seen at least 1 year of my gardening videos, and no, going back and watching them now doesn't count. If you have followed along with me in the process of me gardening and taking these seeds through an entire year and back to seed again, which I've done several times now in videos, if you have watched that and you understand that, then you are a candidate for these seeds. You also have to grow these seeds in 2014. This isn't for seed stackers. I'm not giving these seeds away for people who just want to put them in their bug out bag or whatever to have some organic heirloom seeds. That's great, but you can buy them from a company or something, or get them another way. This is for people who are going to grow them this year. You also do have to know what to do, because I may not be around to help this time. I don't know what my YouTube activity is going to look like this year. As you know, I'm on a hiatus, or I've ended the channel with the hope that I can return once I get other things sorted out. And I still don't know what's going to happen with that in the future. So I may not be here this year. You have to know what to do yourself. And lastly, you will, or at least you will attempt to, get the next generation of heirloom seeds and give some of those away as well. And other than that, you need nothing else other than an email address, and you can get these seeds. So I want to say why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because it takes away from Monsanto and other corrupt organizations who have monopolized the seed industry and many other industries as well. And I'm not going to go into the reasons behind that, but I'm just going to say I'm doing this because I'm taking away at least a little bit, a token amount from Monsanto and corporations like it. And I believe that giving things away diminishes the power of a corrupt currency system. And I think we are involved in a corrupt currency system. I don't believe that the currency system we have in the Western world, or anywhere on the planet for that matter, is just and is for the people. So I'm taking away from that just a little bit by doing a giveaway. And I think if everyone gave away something that they can produce or make or do, almost everything in our lives would be free. Just imagine that. Just imagine if you went to the grocery store, but instead in the parking lot there was someone standing there with free food and gave you some of it. You know, food that they had grown or food that they had made. Like, here's an apple pie. I'm giving away apple pies today, for example, or whatever it is. Or I'm giving haircuts. I know how to do haircuts. I have time. I'm going to give haircuts away. Whatever. If you could do something or make something, or if you have something and you can give it away, if everyone did that, it would change the world overnight. Of course, that's not going to happen. It would have happened by now if it was going to happen. But this is my small way of doing that, or at least starting it. I'm trying to lead by example, because I think that we all appreciate the generosity in other people, right? But every single one of us is selfish and stingy, and we want for ourselves. Well, if we could just reverse that, if we can just get over being selfish and stingy, and if we could give something away of ourselves, give our time, give our things, give our skills. If we could all do that, you know, this would be a completely different world, and a much better world. So I'm trying to start that at least a little bit by giving away a few seeds. And as you can see, there's maybe 15 or 20 in each package. You should get at least a dozen that germinate and come up. And that will be a garden full of tomato plants for you. And then you can have huge amounts of seeds. One of these seeds, just one of these seeds, can be an entire tomato plant. And that entire tomato plant can have literally hundreds of tomatoes on it. And each of those tomatoes can have hundreds of seeds inside it that could make hundreds of more plants. And with that said, all I need to do now is tell you how to get the ball rolling. So click on the link down below if you qualify for these seeds and you're interested in them. And that'll take you to the Contact Me section of my website, where you can put in your email address and a short note, and that'll generate an email to me. And then I can respond back to that email to let you know that your seeds are sent. And they'll probably be sent within 24 hours or so of your request. And they will arrive likely within a week of your request. And you can have these germinating and growing in pots throughout April and into May, and then sometime in mid-May you can get them in the garden. And I hope that you really enjoy these seeds, and I hope that they bring you lots of good fruit. I hope that they teach you about plants and about growing food for yourself, and I hope that you can get back some seeds at the end of the year and then maybe give them on to someone else next spring. Alright, that's it for the video. I hope it finds you in good health and good spirits. Good luck to all the gardeners this year, and I will talk to you guys again. Bye for now.